welcome to another Bible Assembly Team video. My name's John. It's great to see you boys and girls and staff. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for finding the clip again. Well, today, boys and girls and staff, we are thinking about these things. Yes, we all have them. We all have to face it. We've all got... Hang on a minute. Not ears. Hang on, where's it gone? We've all got fears. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, these props. We all have fears of something or some situation, something that we don't like, and we can be worried about them. Those moments, those places, those people, or those situations, or those challenges, whatever they are, whatever you think about them, they are fears, aren't they? We've all got them. Maybe they're little things, or maybe they're huge, just massive things, massive things. I don't know what you get afraid of, boys and girls. When I was your age, I was really scared of these things. Actually, I don't have to be scared of that. It's just a digital image that John, that's me, has put on screen. Yeah, there's another one. No, don't be scared. It's just an image. I don't know if you are scared of spiders. I hope you're not. But when I was your age, I really was. I didn't like to have them on my hand or anywhere. I didn't want to see them close by. I wanted to make sure I could see them and they were going that way and not coming towards me. Yeah, I wasn't very confident with spiders. In fact, I was a bit scared of them. Now I'm grown up. I've got used to them. I am more confident with them. Yes, a lot more confident. Because I realise spiders don't cause me any harm. They're just going about their business. And I don't need to be scared about them. I just need to respect them and make sure they are being cared for, because they're a creature that God created. And I don't want them any harm, but I don't want them near me, really. So it's just one of my things. But I'm not fearful of them. Not like it used to be. Now, I wonder what you get scared about. I wonder what it is. We all have fears of things, don't we? And fear is okay when we acknowledge it and we say, okay, I'm fearful because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be hurt by this thing. But really, spiders, including that one and that one, they don't cause us any harm. But there are other things we need to be aware of, because it's good to be wary of those things. Maybe the road and seeing cars travelling on the road, we need to be aware of that, because it's right to be aware of it, because those cars travelling on the road could cause us harm. So we need to be wise and be careful around roads. That's fine. We don't need to be scared about cars. We just need to be wise and sensible around cars, that particularly cars that are moving or cars that could move. Well, we're thinking about fear today, and I don't know what you get fearful of or scared of, but in our story today from the Bible, we hear about a whole group of people, a whole nation of people called the Israelites, and they became fearful of the Philistines. And the Philistines were a nation that were trying to take over and conquer the Israelites. And there was one Philistine that started sort of making threats about the Israelites. And he stood up one day and he challenged anyone from the Israelites who could take him on in a battle, a sort of one-on-one battle. If they could beat him, then he said, well, you can have this place, we'll leave you alone and we will do as you say. But if you challenge me and I beat you, then we, the Philistines, will be in charge and it'll be our land and our place. Well, that Philistine was called, anyone know his name? Goliath. Yes, Goliath. And he was enormous. They think he was over 8 foot tall, maybe even taller. He was a giant amongst giants. Yes, he would have definitely got in the Guinness Book of Records for being the tallest giant ever created, ever born. Yes, if there'd been a Guinness Book of Records then. Well, in today's story, there was one person who looked on and heard these threats by this giant who was mocking their God and telling them that they were useless and he was better than them and the Philistines were the ones in charge. And this character, David, just a little boy, he was about 10, maybe 11, we're not sure exactly, but he was just a young lad. I don't know if you might be 10 or 11 or getting towards that age. And he looked on and saw Goliath threatening his people and saying horrible things about their God. And he thought, hang on a minute, I'm not scared of you. My God promises to protect us from people who make threats and say unkind things about my God. I am not going to let this Philistine, this Goliath, even if he's huge and humongous and massive, I'm not going to let him get away with this. I'm going to stand up to him because that's the right thing to do. Well, let's find out and let's see what happens when David challenges Goliath to a duel. Yes, it really happened. Little boy David, who was looking after sheep one day, and the next time we see him, he's standing up for his God and what he believes is important. And he doesn't get fearful, no. He decides, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Goliath. Or in fact, I'm not scared of anyone who would challenge my God, because I know my God, our God, is with us and with me.
When my fears are giant-sized. David took his brothers a lunch of cheese and bread. Soldiers on a battlefield, they needed to be fed. That's when he spied a giant foot and leg and arm and head, and heard the giant's challenge, and bravely stood and said,
God helps me beat a lion, God helps me beat a bear. So when my fears are giant-sized, I trust that God is there.
You can't fight that giant. He'll squash you like an insect. He's more than twice your size. You're just a little shepherd boy. You should be terrified. But David knew that God would help, and that's why he replied,
God helps me beat a lion, God helps me beat a bear. So when my fears are giant-sized, I trust that God is there.
So David went and told the king,
I'll take that giant's dare.
Then have my armour, it's standing over there.
When David tried it on, he found it much too hard to wear.
A sling and stones is all I need. Well, and a prayer. God helps me beat a lion, God helps me beat a bear. So when my fears are giant-sized, I trust that God is there.
The giant looked at David. He growled and cursed and roared.
You send this stick-sized boy against my spear, my shield and sword? I'll beat him without trying, and then I'll feed him to the birds.
But David reached inside the pouch where his 5 stones were stored.
God helps me beat a lion, God helps me beat a bear. So when my fears are giant-sized, I trust that God is there.
The giant rushed towards him, his face an angry red. David swung his sling and aimed straight for the giant's head. That small stone struck its target. The giant fell down dead. And as his brothers clapped and cheered, David simply said,
God helps me beat a lion, God helps me beat a bear. So when my fears are giant-sized, I trust that God is there.
Well, I love this story, boys and girls. Yes, David, a little boy, who saw the bully in front of him, and he could have thought, I'm going to run away. It's too scary. I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm fearful. But he wasn't. Why was David not scared? You see, he knew that God, his God, was with him and would give him all he needed to face his fears. So when he looked on, and he could have been scared and he could have run away, he faced up to his fears. He faced up to someone who was threatening him, was being a bully, and he said, no, I'm going to stand for what's right. I'm not going to be fearful of you, Mr. Goliath, who might try and be bullyish and threaten my people and threaten my God, because God will help me to face you, face my fear. And it did. He did that. God helped him. And not only does God help David, like he did in the story today, but God helps you and me. When we have things we can be scared about and think, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. I can't face this thing, whatever it is, whether it's a challenge at school or at home or something that you're worried about and thinking, I can't do it. I'm not up to it. I'm not good enough. I haven't got what it takes. Well, believe it. You have. God will help you. You can face your fears like David did in our story today. So, God will help you. You just need to trust him. You need to ask him to help you, and he will. He's proved it to me so many times, and I know he'll be there for you. You just need to face your fears. So let me say a prayer now for you this week. May you face your fears, whatever they are, and stand up to them, because God will help you. Just have to ask him. So let me say a prayer now for you as we finish our assembly together. Lord God, thank you for this story of David, who faced up to a fear that lots of people had, lots of his brothers had, but he stood up to what he could have been afraid of, because he knew you were with him. And Lord, help us this week when we get scared and worried about things, whatever it is, whatever situation or person or thing it is that we get scared about, help us to know that we can face those things because you are with us. Help us to trust you for all the things we've got that face us this week, and to know that you are with us. Amen. What an amazing story. I hope you found that story helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you will face up to the fears that you have and know that God is with you. You can trust him. Well, thanks boys and girls, thanks staff for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week, because we're recording this week, ready for next week's video. I won't tell you what it is. It's a surprise. Anyway, see you next week boys and girls. All the best. God bless. Bye.